Hello. So, sorry for the noise. A lot's going on. Um, my meditation was very profound this morning. My body's now, in trembles. Communication with higher beings change you down to a chemical level. Your thoughts, your breath, everything changes. And I had been triggered into another cycle of new awarenesses or awakenings or ascensions, blah, blah. Whatever word we want to put into that, but where more of me comes into me and gets online. And I was struggling with this pain in my left wing area and destabilization in my hips. Come here. Hi. May I help you? Okay, give me a few minutes. I'm almost done, and we're gonna go outside into the garden, okay? Right. Shoo! Shoo, fly. I love you. Go. Hold on. I'll be out in a moment. Not yet. Shut mommy's drapes, okay? I still need a bit of quiet. Almost done. Anyways, so blah, 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 working on these things in my physical body on my spiritual alignment. And that was my personal aspect. And in my 3D aspect, I was really excited because I was going to gift some property that was inherited from a very powerful force that I work with. And, all right, both of them. But anyways, family land. And, I hadn't been there since the first time I stepped in Alaska. And it was really neat coming back for that purpose. It meant a lot to me personally. And spiritually also. Just felt right. A lot of what led me to now was the life up until now. And the choices and following what I love and who that created how I am in my I am presence. So it was a beautiful day for me. And it was a day in harmony and where the universe is just hugging you in an embrace. So it was this Tibetan spiritual group that is searching for a land to build places of sanctuary where there is sacred space. And that is something that has been very near and dear to me as my body processes these symptoms and what is around me can't see and perceive. What is physically happening to me on a chemical level is a very difficult, altering, confusing, unnecessary experience. So I had been just seeking a time frame period before where sacred space was the normal, and it was when there is purity between people in their thoughts, their behaviors, their actions, in their intent and their motives, in what comes from the heart space, in their give and receive. And so anyways, in comes this group of people that have a like-minded soul direction. And I had something to give. And that was beautiful for me. 606. Anyways, the day mattered a lot to me. And I was told that that a gift or something would come or something. I didn't quite understand a portal, blah, blah, blah. But that I would receive something. On the car drive, they're saying this, and I'm meditating, and, I've already received it. Was the beautiful thing. I had already received it. This was the receiving, the giving. A gift is something that was always intended, that was always going to go to them. It was always for them. Its intent and purpose was that direction. So me giving it to them was a relief and a release and an alignment of self. And that was my gift. So we go by this waterfall, and it was 828. And when we stopped by this waterfall, and the Grand Master and I, we walk up this beautiful stream on the side of Sterling Highway, and she has me rub my hands in the water, and she's showing me, she's like, look for the lights and the shine, and I'm game. I often run around barefoot in waterfalls and on moss, and so I'm playing in this water, and she taps my leg, and I look down, and there's this bubble forming from the ground, and I just watch it kind of come up. And she's all excited. She's like, scoop, scoop, scoop. Doing this. And so I scoop and I put it on the waterfall. And it was this. And it was so incredible because it was this like soft, silken warmth. And then it got harder and warmer. And so I've been playing with this stone. They call it a holy element. Naga pearls, Naga stones. In Tibet, I guess, they know all about this fun stuff. They play with fairies over there, which is fun because I play with them here, but in a whole different way. I play with them as numbers and sounds and frequencies and time loops and I don't know, different, but 9, 11. But the thing with spirituality, it's how we understand our reality. And that is beautiful, individualistic, and correct for each person. So although there's a difference of culture, a difference of language, a difference of understanding, a difference of everything, there's the right moment at the right time, at the right alignment. Right, as things are being eclipsed out, that does not serve. Anyways, for her, I believe she saw a flash of light over my head. from the way that she explained it, and then it was translated back to me. For me, I felt the air thicken, much like it does when I'm doing light language or working with elements and working with numbers and doing my sacred geometry thing. Before it appeared. And it was neat because she's like, you can do that. You can do, the portal, the naga, and explaining to me that that is now yours. And it was so beautiful because I knew that. That's the thing with energy. It doesn't belong to a person. The good that comes for one comes for all. That's that whole interdependence. At one point, the shaman would go through an ascension and they'd go to this place, a sacred area, a sacred space, and the village would come together and they would send energy and healing and love and encouragement and upliftment, and they would bring nourishment and blah, 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 because that shaman is walking in between time realms. And they're calling in soul aspects, and we're all one, and they're unifying, and the land is enriching, and the heavens are downpouring, and the whole village is in betterment of it. And that's internal alignment to external alignment. That meant that shaman, which we all are, we had just forgotten, aligns with self and finds that joy and that inner peace and that guidance and that alignment and blah, blah, blah. But that had been lacking in my process, and that had been a wounding for me. The not being able to share the joy. Because when the understanding of that happens, everyone in the village, they know how to benefit. They know, okay, that's when we hunt, that's when we gather, that's when we create, that's when we come together. Whatever it is their isness is when that energy comes in through their bodies also. This is that inner. When you're with Soul Tribe, this is what you guys are doing to each other as you encourage and help align. So anyways, that's the strength of how the energy goes through the pyramid. And I'm pulling and using my ascension wisdom to the best of my ability in a improper placement. And it was heart-wrenching and heartbreaking how disconnected humanity is, we are, from each other and from our gifts and our powers and our abilities and our right to be happy and whole and accepted for who we are. I've seen people say there's no better way and not even be aware that they closed their eyes and looked away. No better way. I can't see it. Hello. A better way is what makes you feel better. If your behavior doesn't make you feel better, it's not a better way. If it depletes you, it's not a better way. All this enforced change and rest as people are reevaluating what depletes them and what doesn't. That's soul retrieval coming along on a collective level, because we're all doing this, and we're all becoming aware of it, and we're seeing it, and we're feeling it, and we're all harmonizing. Musical spheres, anyone? So, yeah, I guess it's a Naga pearl, Naga stone, holy element. It is it takes 7 days for the consciousness to come into it. And so I've been playing, braiding, talking, listening, feeling. It I had this golden dragons twining on my spine that I had been working with for a while now. And it's a six-dimensional aspect of self, a place of awareness that I go to and create from. Like I said, shamans walk in between realms. And when you start astroing enough, you send your chi into that direction and you feed into that platform of awareness, and then you bring that to you on a vibratory level with your emotional body. So be mindful of what you allow to go on in your emotional body. That is your chemicals. If something interferes with your mind process, your mental process, your emotional process, your chemical process, bring it back to your breath. Bring it back to your feelings matter. It's, simple alignment actually, but made complex by a lot of people wanting to sell something or believe something, or actually a lot of it is that pack. Pack, how I said there's a danger in it. Part of that danger is if one person's frightened and they promote that and press that into belief, and then the pack swarms up around it and they hold on to that stigma of reality, then that is the only chemical going on in that group dynamic. And whether it's lack or abundance, that's the only chemical pattern. One person carries it, the other person carries it. It's like, lemur effect. Everybody's, which means somebody going through an enlightenment keeps getting startled back fucking down. Not okay. So, that's why the shaman would go away for a while, even though that was a part of their pack. That's why a part of the ebb and flow of going in and going out was more understood as we went through cycles, and we cycled with the universe, each other, our elements, our awarenesses, and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so I had been working in these outer realms a lot, and developed a preference for working with nature over anything else, and really trying to hone and refine and sharpen my own center self-alignment, which, our internal landscape is very diverse. And so it can be a very chaos kind of journey. And chaos energy, you can think of that a little bit as your karmic field. So if you know what you emit, you know what's coming for you. You know how to press through, and you know how to disperse karma. You know that when you act in unconditional love, every act that you have is a magical manifestation of universal abilities and power. And you can see a pattern of that. So that's what I was playing with. And it was wrapping all that up. Kind of nature speaks on a more subtle, intuitive level, more of a gut level. And that's also where, if you are tremoring and being purposefully targeted, it makes it difficult to ascend. And it causes collapse. That's why all these places are just going to spin out. And so, a little bit of the karmic field kind of, if you think, anyways, um, it was a big day. And I'd been doing a lot of meditating since then, and a lot of, just a lot of new insights and new awarenesses. And, I'm ready to anchor sounds down. And to do that, you need to ground, you need to earth, you need to commit and feed yourself to a place. And that's what I've been seeking. Sacred sanctuary. A place where people can come, teach, grow, and enrich each other, enlighten each other, and share in that. Which is what my December Melody in My Heart 303 was about. So while I was, that was another ascension process I was aware of. So I had been creating videos and doing my isness at day to create this platform of understanding. Some of those are messages to myself, to my clients. That's the beautiful thing about light language and braids and numbers and synchronicities. You see it when you're ready to see it and not before. But anyways, so the journey to here wasn't stable. And it's a birthing process, so you need stability. And so hence the hip dis-ease. But I also knew that because on my spiritual path, I'm working these double eights. And in walks these people that have their own isness that I am unaware of, and they're unaware of my isness because we haven't met before and we've met briefly, enough that I knew this is where the land wanted to go. But I knew that I was working with eights, and they have, so I'm talking numerology with them. 2244. And one of them, I shall call him a 5, has around his field, he radiates 5s. And so something in me just relaxes. 5 is spiritual warrior, and I am too, which means we both cause cascades with people around us. There's something into us, a center pillar of sound. We have a divine connection internally that cannot be shaken. We protect the 4s kind of on a spiritual rah-rah part. And I can explain how those numbers can hold you down too if they're in balance. I once had somebody take from me, and it summed up to -40. And that was a number of stagnation awareness. That was a good signal for me. So anyways, numbers are incredible things. And he's standing there radiating these 5s, which is really comfortably, there's a slip, comforting, because I was working 8s, and I was working dual 8s, which meant part of me's doing this, so part of me's doing this, and I'm sitting there partaking in my moment of now, but mostly feeling it from these other aspects. It's when your wings come in and you start processing realms through them, and you get different sets and different kinds and blah, blah, blah. But my wings are physically coming out, and it's processing these realms and processing these numbers. And that's how I know I'm in double 8s, but they're, these are these wings were doing this number. So they're 88ing. And in a linear understanding, it's easier just to see the affinity and the snake, and then feel the connection, the nervous golden tendrils on my spine, and then I hold back into my number, and then center into this vessel, and then anyways. So yeah, I'm weird, and I tell them I'm an 8, but at that moment I'm an 8. Because that's the current flavor of the day. And the stone, the color, it signifies 8. It's purity, it's pure intention, it's pure thought, it's pure energy. And that had been one of my biggest wheels I'd been stuck on, was could I have done more? Could I have given more? And that is when you are deeply empathic and sympathetic and in chaos. 5s can bleed into this emotional depth of confusion that is, you pull out pearls. It's like swimming through, it disperses karma. It's shadow work isn't for everybody. If you are chronically depressed, if your chemical pattern is continuously trapped down, it's not for you. It's not your path. Until you can maintain and your normal is happy high, and you can say, this is my bare minimum. I'll swim right here. I'll swim here. I'll swim here. I'll swim here. That's transmutative energy work. The shamans would do that because they were trained to do that. Eventually, those that could remember were doing it. And then those that were doing it by habit were doing it. And then those that came down to and remembered a lot were doing it. We called them Buddha, Jesus, whatever, and wrote books and stories about them, blah, blah, blah. We're all it. But shadow work is you need to have a center of self, and this world's fucked with most of you. All of you. Every one of us. Very few can hold the pillar of their sound, hold their authentic self in groups, in individual situations, in private and in public, be their authentic self and maintain that frequency of tone and vibration without allowing the chemical pattern of what's around them to overwhelm and overtake them. This drowning, this loss, this chaos, this track that you're all stuck in is because you're chemically stuck in a pattern, in a breath pattern. That's why you can't breathe. And you're swimming into it together. 5s can knock people out of that pattern. Different, and these, we are all numbers. We are all color frequencies. We are all spectrums. We are unity. We are remembrance. And anyways, so this journey I'd been on had a lot to do with compassion and kindness. And anyways, it my guidance was move forward. And I said, show me the purity. And then this shows up. So anyways, yeah, it was incredible. And so I'm working with talking to Five and talking to his grandmaster and having remembrances on my way of understanding with the three of us in the car. I've got a affinity for threes. It's just an easiest sound for me to and I'm going to bring in some language for that. From that car ride, from the center sound is when I felt the shift for this, the Naga pearls, the Naga realm. I saw the seven sides like a giant candlestick and flames all around. Yeah, it was intense. It was so intense. It was like I know you. And once you know, once there's that knowing, there's just, anyways, and then you walk in between that door. But that's the center of the corn roll. And braided around that is this five. And when I say this five, I'm saying my perception of this five from my directional understanding of five. Honoring the space of that own, which is why I'm not saying names. And then there was she's 9. There was this 9 in the car, and she was the grandmaster. Most of her not in that car. She's like a meadow of flowers. Her soul smells of a meadow of wildflowers. I mean, like, that's her chemical signature, by the way. And then picture back what I just explained about pack mentality and what chemical breath they're breathing at you. So anyways, yeah, she's a 9, and I adore 9s. On a spiritual level, my ability to synchronize, create harmony, and manifest into physical abundance, wellness for everything, I rock with 9s. It's, we get each other. It takes time, communication, compassion, commitment, willingness, and most importantly, sorry, I just saw something cross the screen. We have a visitor. There is a beauty to her. I can't linearize it. And yeah. So anyways, she had came over, and I had relieved some debris and worked on her a little bit. And she had offered to work on me in exchange. Not an exchange, actually. She had just, it wasn't an exchange. It was just freely gifted and offered without cost, without. And she removed the shard that I had been working on. And that had been there for so long, and I had tried so many avenues of modalities to remove that. And it requires an open, compassionate heart. When we touch each other with compassion, there is healing done in between. And it helped my wing come out. I was working those double eights, and it was lopsided, and it just, I couldn't. It was a wow, because I have not exchanged more than 3 hours with this person in this reality, and that is one of my deepest woundings. And she healed it. And she said, "You heal healers, I heal you." And I'm like, "I know, thank you," because I don't have, that's why sacred space, that's why this place that I've been working towards, learning towards, manifesting towards, has mattered so much to me, is because from an exterior view in, this looks healthy. From an interior view out, I can see where the needs are not met and the ability to flourish and function aren't stable. And when you anchor your soul into a place, you commit all of you. So it was like an entire network and webbing system released through that stagnation point and then flooded. And then, without me articulating or saying, because I did not mention this point of stagnation, it was more spiritual than physical. So physical work wasn't, and yes. And then my hips was another thing that really had me crawl back into my sanctuary for a bit, because how much it rocked me. The Gemini video talks about that a little bit. Eclipsing moon energy, it physically eclipses out esoteric tendrils of reality, relationships, and timelines, and I feel it physically manifest through my hips. And it's like, it's intense. It's a very intense process. That's why who you connect with, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you only knock on the door that that has a potential sound. And you learn to listen for those. But so knock, 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 and she offers to work on my hips and does some work on my feet and some acupressure points and some ashi points, as I think of them. And energy unlocked from earth to my hips. I had been closing off from Earth's energetic field, and it had caused a imbalance in my energetic body. It there was eights. It was the dew and the Ren meridian. I had to put them together and then stabilize, and then anyways, it was that shift process where you get hip dysplasia, and double eights, not an easy number. So anyways, she does this work on my legs and my hips. And then I've been spending the rest of the time working with the Naga Pearl. So that's going to be the language in the song. Let's see. Whew. This is one of my favorite decks. It is Sacred Geometry. And I use tarot decks kind of as a beginner's guide to your higher self. They have a tendency not to lie to you. I've thrown my deck more than once. Tattletale. The things your soul drives you to do is the things that you need for nourishment. And if you stay in places that don't nourish you, your body weakens and sickens, and you degress, and it feels ick. Integration. I call in the guidance team. Call in the council. I anchor it to center source. Please choose a card. All right. Prosperity and fertility. These are, sometimes I use symbols and numbers and colors to anchor in frequencies of tones. The light languages come from all over. They manifest out of Sacred Heart and Sacred Space. That's why I asked for this. I said, show me. Put it in my hand and show me. I can be a little stubborn and throw temper tantrums if I don't get my way. I don't recognize stagnation as a modality. It's a very uncomfortable process. But I am incredibly intellectual, and I like to understand down to the minutia, to the quantum element of what's going on. And I believe in good, and I believe that love, unconditional love, is expansion. And I believe in the power of universal alignment for the good of all. And I had been being shown a lot of things and experiencing a lot of things, and a lot of it was not personal to me. It was others would show me through my gifts and abilities what they wanted. Yeah, that's great for you. And that's one thing empaths have to be very aware of, is receiving psychic direct input from those that wish to just take. They use your gifts and abilities without any exchange of chemicals back on their point, or they maintain that level of chemical cap on your spiritual progress, neither of which are okay. You know that when your doingness fatigues you. If you are fighting through things, know what you fight for. Know loving is the easy part. Loving each other. And when you're walking with wisdom, it's easy to see how we hurt each other and the mistakes that we do. And that the compassion with yourself starts altering. And then you'll see that expand into your exterior environment, and you start getting more space. And then you expand from that point. So I had these fairly strict requirements with my guides and I. Show me this. Show me that. Okay, keep showing me. Keep showing me. Then they dropped a fucking tree on my house. I don't know if you saw it. Perspective of Unity is the two cars that showed up. They're like, step out. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. And they're like, yeah, we know you are. Push. And I'm like, nah, I like it here. And a tree dropped on my house. And I really love trees. And I get, that wasn't it. There was more. Plumbing started back up again. The need for movement, for anchoring. And so that's been pressed into my awareness with clear coherency. Sorry. The cards are all face down. It was sticking out. I said, pull me. It's very entertaining in my life that there is so much that wants to love you and talk to you and spend time with you. Your time, your energy, your chi, your ability to love yourself is paramount into developing your connection with your divine. The reason you've been sold lies and disillusion is because everything is taken from that center source. You are your center source. You fold back into that, everything else will harmonize. Anyways, so I'm standing in this middle of this wobble, and I've already seen so much and experienced so much. And my physical body is processing so much. And my dreams are, which is why I was closing down from Earth. I was quieting levels of conscious awareness. And part of that had to do with bringing in, the last time I opened up to Earth, my hips couldn't handle the weight. It was just too much weight to bear up on my own. And so I closed from that cycle, and then I opened into a new cycle, and that was a double 8-8. And that had more stability to work with this sound that I've been playing with on my solo journey. And she helped with that. So she knows nothing of me, what I've been experiencing, the inability to climb the stairs again suddenly, the throb, it's not all of us are great at controlling our thoughts. And so there's ugly things out there. And when you get really good at controlling your thoughts, you help those that can control theirs less. That's why one person doing meditation work works for everybody. 2 people works for everybody. 3 people, the more, the better. We all stabilize and help each other. Thoughts, streamlining, focus, the stuff I excel at. It's a it requires pure clarity. It requires essence. I had asked for the essence, and got a holy element. Okay, thanks. Co-creation with the universe at its finest. Anyways, yeah, I want to wrap all that together. Bring in those portals, bring in those sounds, bring in those gifts, those abilities, that flow pattern, that all those timeline realities, all those possibility streams, all those all of the gifts from the heavens waiting to appear in our hands. And then also I will maybe post some links, or you can look up holy elements, naga pearls, or I don't know. I might not. I'm not sure. This is going to be the last video. I'm looking to anchor sounds, and that requires give and take, and trust, compassion, acceptance. Honesty. People that want to be prosperous, that don't hold on to self-sabotaging behavior and habits. I'm looking for my soul tribe, one that's ready to resonate with me. And until that shows up, I'm going to work on refining and connecting deeper. I think we all should be able to go to a stream of water and pull from it our divine abundance. We are good, divine. We are creators, manifestors. We have connection to Chi, source energy. We have all of the joy possible. We have expansion and growth. And flow with those in the stream. Flow with those that are going with your flow. So, to prosperity, fertility. Niatiaturia satakarasha sotuna maniana de tarusha sayata tu namaniatiatakaria satasha suturi ricatapuna maniatiatatasha. Quiana shasa shasaya nuneatiatakusha saya nueaturia satakusha satuina madaya. Ia tukuria satatasha satakuta pananayatuta yatasatu shananamonayata. Yanonoyata yasatakaria satukusha sa nanomaya yatu yatariatakarana noniate yatayashasu. Hayanomoya yanatakaria satakaria sashasanoye yatayatakoya yatayashasa. Invite in your guidance, your support, your God, your chi, your center source, your willingness, your openness to receive abundance, joy, your connection to self, your willingness to be open to new possibilities, new realms, new abilities, new gifts, new awarenesses. Kia dia tuya nanaya druya dia tu shataya taku. Kuyanania tataka shasu shatariatu no manayatiatuku yananamanantiatu shasa yananiatuku. Ayanomiati ataruya sataya tataya yanonomaya yanaya yanaya. Kuyanamaya yanoya. Breathe in, feel the tone. Quia in the moya suya noya yata yata kusha quia noya Kuyanamaya yatayatusha sayatayatusha sataratakusha sataratakusha ayatayatayatakuyanamanatusha is to help with the integration. Niatusha sayatayatusha sa ayatayatuya namanananana the dispersion. Kuyananiatayaturisha satariatrusha satariatrusha satariatriatadu yatakaputarietratatusha satariatrakusha satariatakuno maniatriatakusha tatadotariatara nuno maniatriatara. Connecting with the 5 and the 9. Kuyana moya kareata ya tosha sananaya ya toda monaya ya taya tono moya ya duya ya taka ya noya moya siya te tusha ya tarapona moya taka noya sasha sananamoya ya takuna moya taya 616 Kwananayata ya te satukusha sananamaya nayata ya tototi ya shia taya noya ya noya susha sukuya kayatea Hayananya moya yanania tagaya sasakasha shakono monia yatakusha satakariata kayata yatadusha ayanunayana namonana yatakasatakusha sanomayana yatakayata toja satariata yatutara namanana yata oyata tagata shusukuisha. That's for 5. Konomanaya te tasha honomoye te tudusha sotariatresha sanamana yatareta. And release. That was, whatever that was conception for 5. So this is for the 9. You know, maniata de Satusha Satakashit Kurubana, Yataria Satakana Monana, and the Takashis Katawana, Sakarish Kurita, 828, no maniata Satation on Mayana, Yatakayata, and Moniana, Yatakasha, Paranamona, and the Teresa Takashakuya. Yanamoyana, Maniana, Maniana, Moniata, Yata, Shushu, Poyana Takai. And release. Fertility and prosperity. All right. That's enough of that for today. So that is a wrap up. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. Yes, but yeah, not on this video. Communication of soul time. There's rooting. Yeah. Oh, fuck, my left eye. Something's coming, but I have a lot to unpack, and it's been quite a journey since my video that I posted in December, and a lot of it has been gifts of for later, and for now, and for the past. So that's the thing with working with eights. It's it's magic, but it's offers healing. Keeps coming out. I guess we are going to end on the cosmic flower. The frequency of the cosmic flower activates our remembrances of the places we call home, the core from which our power, our magnificence, pours out into the world. Number 18 breaks into a 9. Be well.